Hello ravers, I'm Brawlers, and welcome to the Electric DM10, a series dedicated for the EDM DJs and producers that have carried their names into the journey of sound for at least a decade and more. During the time of this recording and posting, the project being covered is still in the professional EDM scene, creating bangers, touring/performing, or both. As the world of electronic music has countless DJs and producers, many qualify for the 10-plus year streak series. Being in the EDM industry for this amount of time is no easy task, let alone in the professional environment. With that said, this series of videos will cover briefly the project, the members, and the tours/travels. Most importantly, the music that got these projects the impactful recognition for the listeners and fans of the thousands, millions, and in some cases, billions. For a project to qualify in this series, the following must be met. First, 10 plus years of the project name being active. Important note, the project name cannot change to a completely different name or style of EDM. Second, at least one main headlining tour or direct support tour of the project's time. Special cases can qualify. And third, must have a minimum of 3 EPs, 1 album, and or several songs/remixes published. Special note, the project name can have a time of taking a break from the scene due to health/unfortunate circumstances, or taking a different direction within the music industry, as long as the creator of the project doesn't confirm the end of such project in less than 10 years. Now with the intro done, may I present to you Season 2 of Electric DM10. Hey, ravers. For those that are new here, welcome. Those that are returners, welcome back. A big thanks to every single one of you for being curious in my videos and my YouTube channel, even if you are a viewer looking at my content from afar, liking, viewing this same video on a different platform, or even subbing and being a part of this journey, my fun journey in the video content creation with the electronic dance music world. Wait, what's that song? Sounds a bit nostalgic. Anyways, one of my previous videos was a reprise of a past video documentary I did for a special someone. She is on the screen now, and I really had a fun time making and updating that documentary. Okay, that tune. Ooh, that tune sounds familiar. Okay, well, we are back in the Electric DM10s, and this is Season 2. We are doing a back-to-back documentary covering with the DJ/producing gals. For this episode, for those that are familiar with this gal's voice, you're in for a smooth treat. It's none other than JVNA. I've been meaning to cover her time in the music scene for quite a bit. What better way to do that right after hearing that accurate melodic voice, and this gal is still killing it with her music. So, if you're ready, I'm ready. And if JVNA sees this documentary, let's go and see what we can learn from her style, and if we can find some kuromis along the way. Just a little fun twist for this documentary. Let's start. JVNA, real name JVNA Ma, is an American/Taiwanese producer, singer, vocalist, DJ, and a bit of a dancer too. She mainly goes with her ethereal style of indie electronic music with a very good dose of melodic dubstep, trap, future-based music, and now she's experimenting with some electronic pop. Also cannot forget the good doses of K-pop and gaming music elements in her musical touch. Aiming to have a dark yet emotional meaning with her tunes, she has captivated her audience and more with her presence in the EDM scene. While we take a look into her styles, let's go back to where this talented gal officially began. JVNA, being born in Los Angeles, California, has actually lived for the majority of her time in San Francisco. As a youngster, she started grade school in playing classical piano, along with additional instruments like the cello, violin, and more. Reaching her double-digit years, JVNA took an interest in music production, and this was where she started to write her own music. Years later, after grade school, She attended San Fran's Conservatory of Music and studied the following areas: film, emotional soundscaping, orchestral composition, and more. After many years of doing these musical backgrounds, all of this will be her foundation for her project to have her sounds for the EDM world. What inspired JVNA to step in the EDM universe was actually out of curiosity of going to a rave. That changed her direction with how she wanted to sound, but she holds certain musical creators to heart. One example would be JVNA mentioning a Japanese composer by the name Hiroyuki Sawano as an inspiration, and has talked about wanting to bring the piano melodies and harmonic ideas of composers such as Chopin and Schumann into the electronic music that she was crafting. The year is now 2016. As she was in the higher musical educational journey, JVNA began her name by uploading edits, remixes, and bootlegs that were inspired by video game and anime-themed atmospheres. This was another factor into creating her image for her future ravers. One of her significant hits was a remix from a login theme by the MapleStory video game. This fun twist of the video game login theme got the attention of the video game developers at the time and were very pleased by her spin. This move was the start of her journey into the EDM universe. Something different with JVNA's approach into the EDM world was not by numerous club gigs during her first years of performing, but it was her gaining a strong online presence with being a part of the gaming/anime spaces through YouTube and Twitch live streams. She holds the title as one of the first EDM artists to use Twitch for her DJ performances. Before continuing the rise with JVNA, we must first cover a tune that easily became a significant song for her musical career. In 2018, JVNA created and debuted what is now known as her signature song, I'm With You. This song was inspired by the unfortunate death of her father 2 years before the birth of this tune. She took the leap of making the song to express these two worlds, a hard-hitting loss and a global softness that shows the confusion of facing these feelings at once. Not only was this song a massive success, this was JVNA's first ever self-directed music video. The video shows JVNA visually translating the song's melancholic scenery as she travels around the streets of Los Angeles, California. A unique resemblance in the music video would be the red balloon that is seen in various parts of her journey in the city, most likely representing her father's spirit, letting all viewers know, no matter how painful a loss is, those that you cared for will always be with you. Just like her father will always be there for her in good spirit, and all those that we have lost dearly are now resting peacefully. Another notable early appearance after her signature song that skyrocketed was through a record label that makes any creator use the songs 100% free. This specific label that's by creators for creators is none other than No Copyright Sounds, NCS for short. The song in mentioning was in collaborations with Views, and this was released under NCS. That song is called Crazy, which you are hearing right now in the background. And I hope I do not get flagged. Please, JVNA, please, NCS, do not flag me. This is 100% free. Diving into more happier contents, in 2019, she has grown from an online artist to an EDM touring performer, now launching even more songs to grab not just one, but two types of audiences. First, of course, is the anime Japanese gaming world and early incoming ravers of the electronic dance music world. Another significant song released in a record pool that was very popular at the mid to late 2010s even featured upcoming EDM titans such as Illenium and Dabin. JVNA's song Catch Me was released with Proximity. Shoutouts to anyone who still remembers this record label. This song was the start of her first ever tour, which was called Catch Me Tour, performing across major cities all over the US. This got even more of an attention grabber because later on that year, a second phase was implemented to cover over 10 plus cities for her ongoing tour. JVNA was on a rising star path in the singing world and especially in the DJ performing spaces. Now, 2020, we all know what happened to the world in these very complicated times. Everything she planned in performing more has been shut down from the virus. So, she went full Gears mode in the platform where she started out in, Twitch. Staying and interacting with her audience through the virtual space, she was also creating her first album while the world was in chaos. Bringing the light now that 2021 and 2022 were the recovery years. JVNA debuts new singles that were a part of her first album. As the restrictions were finally lifted, she presents her entire batch of songs late 2021, and her album was called Hope in Chaos. As of the year 2022, JVNA will continue to release singles and feature remixes that other producers have done with her songs. Now going over 25 shows for the 2022 year, she then started creating another group of songs while changing her artist's approach. This was mainly in the timelines during the second half of 2023, a new, darker, and empowered approach to her name. JVNA releases a single called Play With You. Around a month later, she presents her second album with the same title as her song that I just mentioned. Here was where she was able to get these massive opportunities thanks to some notable EDM Hall of Famers, one of which was performing in Cancun, Mexico for Millennium's Ember Shores Festival in December 2023. And a month before that, she played direct support for San Holo's massive Kia Forum performance in Los Angeles, California. Also did a massive Hall of Fame YouTube documentary on San Holo, and there's a little card at the top right corner of the screen if you want to see it. Thanks, ravers. On to 2024. She has continued to go forth in performing at some main headlining events and direct support for various producers, some DJs that have even grown to be just as widely recognized as she was in half of the time JVNA has been in the music scene. But another full circle moment was created for an old familiar record label. No Copyright Sounds got another hit from JVNA, and that was Taking It Slow. Jumping into the 2025 year, JVNA released the single Right Person, Wrong Time, beginning a new chapter of her musical journey. I don't know much of this lore as I was interested in the title of the song itself, but it must have been the past personal connection she once had, and unfortunately the two didn't work out. This is me giving a prediction. But returning to successes, she then moved from the west to the east coast and wanting a brand new change of scenery. However, there is one unique performance that she went for, and that was EDC China going back to back with another Asian EDM DJ and producer that is dear to my raving heart, Ray Ray. Also made a reprise EDM documentary in her name due to a copyright claim that I got hit with, but it's way better than before, as I mentioned earlier in the video. The EDC China back-to-back performance was supposed to happen for these two producers. Unfortunately, in the area where they were performing, there was a severe typhoon, which resulted to the entire festival being cancelled. But when 2025 came around, the two were still all in to perform and throw it down all the way to Chinatown. No idea why I went with that rhyme. There is a YouTube video of their set featuring the two talented gals from start to finish, with several releases in late 2025 and well into 2026. She has performed for Lost in Dreams Music Festival that takes place in the edge of downtown Los Angeles. And what do you know? Her comrade in arms, Ray Ray, went for another back-to-back. Now, up to date with the time of me making this documentary and with her history done, let's see some of her tours and travels. Alright, taking a look at the travels for a bit. Thanks to the connections that JVNA has gotten throughout the years, she has gone to various parts of North America and few areas of Asia, and a couple of European destinations too. However, nothing has been confirmed with the other continents of the world. For her tours, here are some that I will mention. Her Catch Me tour in 2019, which was split into two parts, part 1 and Part 2. Also was direct support for Nightmare's Drumverse tour in 2022, playing in various locations, and Play With You, her official tour in the year 2024, going at it with various destinations as well. Now, a fun little addition that I'm going to be placing in the Electric DM10s are the major events and festivals. Some of these that JVNA has partaked in will be the following: Lost in Dreams, of course, Hangout Music Festival, Sunset Music Festival, Electric Zoo, oh my freaking god, New Year's Eve, Countdown, EDC China, Ember Shores, and I was surprised to find out about this festival that she took part in, Lost Lands. Alright, before jumping into some fun facts with JVNA, we gotta cover the musical pages that she has constructed throughout the years. As of August 2026, we will be taking a look at SoundCloud first, which she has 33.2 thousand followers, almost to the 333 mark, along with 114 tracks. A good handful of the tracks are her Twitch sets and other special sets she has done in her time as a performer. But we also must include the originals, the remixes, and everything else that she has done. Jumping into Spotify, we have over 160,000 monthly listeners. But let's add a special segment, which we have to mention, Twitch, having a total of 92.4 thousand followers. Who wants to know some fun facts about JVNA? I got you guys. She used to ice skate like another producer that goes by the name Whipped Cream. JVNA does mention to not really dice into this sport like she once did in the past. Main reason was because of an injury that she had to face, but she has gone back to try it out a few years ago. Who knows if she'll implement this sport in a music video? Maybe she has, but I'm not fully aware of it. Now, with this fun fact is going to surprise some of you. She made a song on pee. Like pee-pee. No, really. Take a look at this. One crazy fact, no pun intended, with JVNA, while she was performing in EDC China with Ray Ray, she performed with an injured knee. Man, and let me tell you, that is real dedication there. JVNA is not only Twitch verified, but she is also verified double time as an official Twitch DJ, meaning she is safe to be a musician persona on the platform due to her reputation throughout the years. She even got bombarded on Twitch by Illenium a few times. There was one video in particular that does come to mind, but I just couldn't find it at all, and it was very hilarious with how she reacted with her puzzled reaction when Nick bombarded her Twitch page as she was live with over 1,500 Illenials. So I just found out that with this particular clip, it is called a VOD for Twitch. I'm not too keen in Twitch, which I rarely go into. But yes, this was confirmed by the internet in mentioning of how JVNA was just live streaming and then Illenium's fans just slammed her page. Speaking of Illenium and JVNA, the two finally met recently in the summer of 2025 in San Francisco, California, as JVNA was direct support to showcase with her new era of music. Judging by the crowd, she blended her new style of electric pop music with the EDM, of course. JVNA's new direction with her music did get a couple of controversial takes, regardless of her standings being with someone or not. She took the matter into her own hands for a brief period before resuming to the new music. One more fun fact, she loves Kuromi. But here's the funny thing about me, I only know of it as a character. I have no idea what type of universe it's from, what the origins are. Wait, you know what? Let me type it up right now. Let me see. What is a Kuromi? Question mark. Let's see. In Japanese name, Kuromi translates literally to black beauty or blackness. Oh, it combines kuro, meaning black, with a suffix that makes it a name. Wait, what is this character? The personality. Oh, it's from Hello Kitty. Ah. Okay, learn something new today. talking about learning something new, we got the main course of the documentary to learn with, and that's the discography. We're going to be jumping into everything that she has partaken in, from collabs, record label releases, and so much more. So, let's do this. For the collaborations, there's only a few that come to mind. Luca Lush, Ray Ray, Halion, Buse, and Lucy will be a couple of them. However, a dream collab that would be very incredible to see as a part of her discography will be collaborations with Slander, mainly Slander and Nightmare as a song for the Good Vibrations record label. Why that is, I'm not too sure, but I feel as if these three can make something very unique and hyper too. Another notable collab that will be incredible to see will be with Illenium. Alright, the record label releases. Here's a couple that come to mind. Of course, No Copyright Sounds. She has also submitted songs with Monster Cat, Affiliate Records, Proximity Records, and Create Music Group. Now, ravers, it's time to cover the discography, and there's going to be a fair amount of info that we're going to be taking a look at. First off, starting with singles. Here are some that come to mind: Taking It Slow, Crazy, Living in Hell, At Least It Was Fun, and of course her signature song, I'm With You. Her latest tunes that she has created was Digital Ghost, one of my personal favorites that I've been hearing for quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie, it's really, really good. And this track has a flawless blend of stepping into a gaming/anime world and a strong dose of EDM mashed into one. Another new track that has been released as of a couple of days ago for August 2026 is Above You. We need to, of course, cover some of the remixes that she has done throughout the years, and here's a few that are going to be laid out. Slander's All You Need to Know, which is one of her remixes that she's done, a remix with Waterpark's Dream Boy, a Nightlight remix for Illenium, Ready for Love, a remix that she's done for Blackpink, and Resistor for Asuka. This is going to be the official remix for the Sword Art Online theme. Her EPs, for this section, it is an interesting case, but let me break it down here. She did release an EP in 2016 called Ethereality. However, this has only 3 tracks. Well, she was starting out with her real deal in creating her own music and posting, so for this only one reason, I'll make an exception to count as an EP, although having 4 songs would officially make it an EP in my book. So I'm 50-50, but as I mentioned, I'll give it a pass. However, for this EP, this is one that she has hand-selected with other producers from her original songs that she created in 2020, and that is the JVNA Remixed Volume 1. For this EP is an interesting case, as I mentioned, that without her 5 original songs that she created, the Remixed Volume 1 EP would not exist. But with her having this small info of the EPs, she makes up for it with not 1, but 2 albums. Her first album that was released in 2021 is Hope in Chaos, with a total of 12 tracks. And her second album, Play With You, which was released in 2023, having a total of 11 tracks. Oh, let's not forget that she has also confirmed a remix album with Hope in Chaos being released along with her original album that she created a year prior. Diving into the final segment for the discography, some of the personal recommendations that I would give to someone who wants to know JVNA's music, of course, will be 4 songs: Taking It Slow and Crazy, which is from No Copyright Sounds, just to get a dose of how I found JVNA. I'm With You, of course, her signature song, and her most recent song, Digital Ghost, that is still a banger in my opinion. Well, we're at the end of the documentary. With my final thoughts, I've only met her briefly once, and it was during Ray Ray's Independence Day set in Exchange LA, which was in 2024, alongside with Rural and Chill. I got to speak with her just for a brief moment as we were all just vibing along with Ray Ray's set. I've seen Ray Ray many, many times, but for this documentary with Jana, I really did want to go see her in Exchange LA. Unfortunately, I couldn't go. But definitely, I 100% want to catch her doing a unique set in person. But this has made me think I need to go and check out one of the Twitch live streams whenever I get the chance. I rarely use that platform, but it has grown to such a unique expansion for content creation, and for many people, including Jana, it has worked to her favor because without Twitch, I'm not sure where she would be in the music world, honestly. So with Twitch, kudos to you for placing Jana as a significant individual in your platform. And I would like to say kudos to everyone who has watched this documentary from beginning to end. This is the end of Jana's documentary, and that means the first episode of Season 2's Electric DM10 is done. Thank you all ravers so much for watching my documentaries. I understand that I don't place these out constantly. I do my best to have a fun twist with entertaining and educating those that are interested in some of the EDM projects that I cover from their time that they have started to where I end up making the documentary and posting it. I do this as a hobby, and I am very grateful that with many of them, including Jana, that I got to briefly meet with them and respect their styles with what they have done for their audiences. So if anyone is interested in hearing Jana's style, there will be EDM links of her socials and her music pages in the EDM box below, along with my socials and my music pages in the EDM box below, meaning the description. Thank you so much for sticking around, and I cannot wait to be making even more documentaries as I have many scripts that I've been working on, and I gotta finally release them. Go check out Jana if you are familiar with her style. And Jana, let's see how many Kuromis that you have found, along with you ravers. How many did you find? This season is going to be unique. Thank you so much, ravers. Lastly, keep listening, stay safe, and rave on.